Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's your favorite BC boy, Gangsta Lou. Back up in this bitch doing what I do. For oldies rule forever, volume 1 and 2. I'm an old school homie with a new. Whatever you want, whatever you need, whatever the vision I promise to see, wherever you going, I promise to be. The feelings I had, I promise to keep, girl, I got ya. When we first met, I knew it was destiny calling. The eyes never lied, girl, and I knew you was falling. For me, I'm just a G named Lou, girl. I remember junior high, I met you in school, girl. Bad mommy, haciendo mi mamacita. Pretty face, pretty eyes, I was dying to meet ya. You had a man, but you never let it come between us. Taking flights to come and see me every other weekend. Girl, we got that special kind of love affair. That late night down the coast as we take in the air. We pop a bottle, then we toast as I pull on your hair. Coke bottle shaped body, pretty derriere. Pretty face, pretty taste, pretty pussy too. I like to nibble on it, girl, then I kiss it too. You got my mind thinking now that your body is calling. I'm in the AU, girl, then I kiss it too. You got my mind thinking now that your body is calling. Okay, we are here. Welcome everyone to the show. Okay, we are here. Welcome everyone to the show. Okay, we are here. Do we got feedback?
Got a feedback. I can hear you, baby.
Okay. We got feedback.
Here we go. I can hear you, baby.
You got a feedback, homie.
We got feedback.
It's not coming from my side.
You got a feedback, homie.
We got feedback.
Yeah, I think it is, Big D. It is.
Sounds better.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. What happened? You had to cut an app off or something?
Yeah, I just forgot I was streaming something else before I got onto here. What up? How's everybody doing, man? It's hot. It's a man of the hour. It's your boy Big D. And
let's keep it real.
Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? We're coming back with another one. I'm in Southern California right now. Let me go out there and get some shout outs to the brand, man. If you guys are outside next to the beach or next to the lake, make sure you guys have one of these. What's going on, people, man?
That's right. What's up, everyone? What's popping? I am G-Lew, your other host of the show. I'm here with my homeboy Big D. It's a Monday, you know what I mean? Top of the week. So we are here, man, just to give our spill on a few things. Well, Big D, it was on Big D tonight. Big D had the topic, you know what I mean? And I think it's great, man. I always kind of feed off of Big D. Like I ask him what he, what he thinks about the show, what direction he wants to go, because he usually has some good topics, and he wants to talk about relationships tonight. And I think that's pretty cool topic. It could go either way, you know what I mean? It can get deep. We can go in the deep end, man, or we can stay shallow. We also, as you see in the flyer, we were supposed to have a woman's perspective. We were supposed to have the homegirl 2Souls on here, but she did actually tell me, when we first talked about it, there was a chance that she may not be able to make it, but she said she was going to try. I just put faith that she really would, but I guess she couldn't make it. So we were supposed to have 2Souls have a female perspective, but she won't be here. So me and D just going to do the best that we can, and we'll go off the comments and what the people talking about. Hopefully we have some ladies out there who can chime in with us, talk about it with us, and we'll put the phone number up there too, so you can call in if you want to. To talk about it as well. Yeah.
Don't be shy, don't be hasty.
That part. So, we'll have a number up there, like right there. We'll put it up, I guess, when we're ready, you know what I mean? But it's right there, so feel free to tap in. But I'm gonna turn it over to the homie Big D.
All right, everybody. Like G said, man, I'm Big D from the Big D Keeping It Real show. It's my YouTube channel, man. Hope all is well. Like I said, it's hot up here in Southern California. So I hope you guys can cool off, man. Throw that AC on, get on that pool. And we're about to drop another one, right? Another one. So if you guys
That's what I meant, the bomb. We're about to drop another one.
there you go. Bamboozy, right? But like I said, man, these days, the topic came up, I've been hearing it a lot, here there are relationships important for in today's life. And obviously, you guys know it is, man. We have relationships with, with our siblings, co-workers. We got a relationship with our pets and so forth. So do they matter? Obviously they do, but under what condition, right? I was doing a little bit of research myself, and I find out that most relationships, they don't last. It takes between 3 to 5 months before a relationship, whether it exceeds or it doesn't, and that's a pretty low number, don't you think? You would think that, man, when you be introduced to some people that that the relationships last. Maybe I thought it was longer than that, 6 to a year, maybe.
Right.
A lot of people that I encounter, I build good relationships, and they usually last long. But then again, I keep my circle tight and small. I have 4 quarters and 100 pennies. So it depends.
That's dope. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
So I like that.
And a lot of people, they have that kind of relationship. They have that kind of charisma. They get along with this person and that person. It's all about introducing. And do relationships matter these days? Yes, they do. How do you think in this podcast, on this show with G-Lew today, we fairly got shortly introduced to each other a little bit, but we build, I think, in my part, a great commodity, a great relationship, and it's just growing. And, there hasn't been no shortcomings, and we don't look for no drama. I do depend on his support and him, keeping me on my 2 feet, and that's the way relationships, they work. We keep each other steady and ready, and we help each other out. And it's if you guys look at it at this channel, there's no color lines. We don't discriminate, any women. We're all here as a family, and we're all here to learn from one another. And that's why relationships are important, and they do matter, because we're here to learn from one another.
That part. And I like the way you broke that down, because now it gives a broader, like you said, relationships, it gives a broader look at it. Relationships is not just about like one thing, a girl and boy. It could be a homie, brother, all of that. So I'm glad you broke it down that way for people who may have just been looking at this like we're going to just go straight into talking about quote unquote relationships, like female man or it's bigger than that.
Right. Yeah, I have good relationships with other channels as well. For instance, we got Drunken Chef right here, barbecue. Saludos.
Shout out to Drunken Chef, man. It's been a minute. Much love.
Drunken Chef, but I go onto his platform, go out there, and we collaborate. I like what he's doing, the positive feedback that he has, and it's very inspirational. He balances out with his family, and I like stuff like that. Another one that I go on is on Promono Soul Sounds, just like you. We love oldies, and he goes out there and he has a platform, and I go on there and I'm diligent to that, and we build a relationship.
You got to put me up on him. I ain't up on him. You ain't put me up on the homie. You got to put me up on that.
Yeah, follow Promono Soul Sounds, man. He comes out daily. He does not only Sundays, but he's out there on the Mondays and Wednesdays and every other day. But like it and go check him out. Subscribe to his channel, Promono Soul Sounds, and he's playing some oldies too, bro, that I haven't even heard of. And a lot of people that are on here, they go out and I see them over there on his platform. So relationships are very important, man. It's not just amongst each other. We have relationships with our pets, right? We have relationships with our friends. We have relationships. There's many types of relationship, and that's how that we, come out as, I think as a society is relationships are very important. Big shout out to House of Tattoo. That's another homie right there. Got a relationship with him, right? So saludos. But now you will come across some times where you agree to disagree. That's a relationship. So let's first talk about a boyfriend or girlfriend, husband and wife. Right. There's always that's probably, besides me, the most important relationship that I have is with Jesus Christ. My personal Lord and Savior. I get it. A lot of you guys are not spiritual. You guys are not religious, and I respect that. So the next thing that's more important in my life is my family, which I'm pretty sure many others have the best relationship and the most relationship in their life is with their family. So do they matter? Of course, because I care about what my family says, especially when it comes to my wife. Unfortunately, I don't have a relationship with my mother, and I ain't saying badly, but see, that's where it comes down to our relationships are important. There's a yay and there's a nay, right? So just because I have a mother, there's many of us in our lives that we don't have a relationship with our fathers and our mothers. Unfortunately, I don't have a relation with my father because if you guys don't know already, my father's been deceased since I was 6 months. So that's the importance of relationships, right? Because I figure, we'll dive into it. If my father was alive, I believe that I wouldn't have been the type of person that I would have been as far as growing up, encountering gang violence, encountering how to be in the neighborhood, because I believe that my father would have displayed that love and the affection that I needed as a young child. And that's why relationships need to be important these days, and they do matter because, we're looking out for the next generation. How we raise our children, it's going to be conducted in the future, right?
Mm.
These children these days are the prodigal of what the future is going to be. And if you guys know already, today's future, it's a little up and down, it's a little shaky. But for people like us that's been through it, walked that straight line, encountered the hardships, that's why we are here to feed back, to let these people who are not on that narrow line and to build a relationship with them so we could help them maybe grow and bring out the best in them instead of them knowing all their lives the negativity that they encountered. That part right there.
Speak on it. Pamela Taylor said relationships are bonding, personal bonding, spontaneous bonding, business bonding, sinful bonding.
That's it. That's she Pamela, big shout out. She knows her thing. She must been living in this world for a quick minute. You know what I'm saying? Boy, it's consistent. It's consistency. It's positions. It's increase. It helps you to increase. Relationships. These days, if you guys understand, they're trying to eliminate. Relationships.
Right.
One of them. Let's keep it real. In the last 2 years, right? You got coronavirus. They don't want us to gather. They don't want that relationship to build. They want us to be. They might as well send everybody to encampments and prisons and so forth and so forth. Lock us up, right? Lock it up, But we're not going to lock it up, right? We're going to come out. We're going to make a stand, and we're going to say, hey, you know what? What G-Lew over there is doing, I like what he's doing. What House of Tattoo is trying to build for, hey, I'm going to support the homie, right? What Drunken Chef is having his family out there and people and so forth, I'm going to give a shout out. What Big D's trying to do, I understand, and that's where we're going to fall in line. We always hear that thing, we're going to fall in line. Hey, this is going on, and I get it, on an unperfect world, but,
right.
It depends on what kind of relationship you're going to set forth and what you have in your household and your relationship with your spiritual almighty. That's how it's going to conduct, on today's lifestyle, man.
Facts. Preach. That's Big D. Let me see. Oh, hold up. Let me see. Oh, what up, Cindy? Elliot said, let me see. The relationship within yourself is important as well, meaning being secure, truthful, open-minded, and selfish, unless selfishness, I guess. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right. Like I said, man, depending how, what kind of relationship you're set forth. Do you have your good relationships? You have your bad relationships, right? I ain't saying everything is perfect, but the thing is, do they matter? That's the topic, right? The relationships matter these days, and depending, like I told you guys, I've been encountered with some relationships. You've been around some person, if he's a toxic, whether it's a he or she, how long does that relationship last? Honestly, you're like, man, this guy, he's over here. All he does is gossip about people. All he does is just bring people down. All she does is she's like another, soap opera. So it depends.
That shit ain't gonna last long.
Right?
It ain't gonna last long.
Right. Depends what kind of, relationship are you, what type of person or individual are you really? Are you a set that's madre? Are you into that chismo and that gossiping and everything else? Because those kind of crowds, they do exist as well.
Yeah.
Their relationships matter as well too, because you know a negative and a positive is a positive, right? But a negative and a negative is a negative. You know what I'm saying? So you know it depends what kind of circle that you're in, depending what kind of people you hang around with. You know, says a lot, and people look at that. They'll judge you. They'll stereotype you for it. And it's just like, hey, man, me personally, like I said, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, man. Straight up, you know, straight up, man. You know, that's all it is, man.
House of Tattoo said, in relationship, you have to have communication, understanding, support, compassion. I'm old school with it, man.
That is, man. And I get it. From a marital status, you know what I mean? I want my own space. Doesn't mean that my wife has to be all up in my business, and I don't have to be on hers all up in her business either. You know, that's when we got married. It's just a bond to building trust that hey, we're married, and you know what I mean. I stay true to the game. I stay true to the relationship. But my wife doesn't micromanage me, and I don't micromanage hers. It's more called, like House of Tattoo says, it's understanding communication. Straight up.
But how do you get to that point? What up, Big Fern? How does one get to that point, or like you said? Or what if one doesn't get to that point? Because it says that I mean, like you know, like you said, your wife doesn't micromanage you. You don't do the same. But some people do have those issues with their wife or the
they do.
Females all up their ass all the time. You know what I mean? So how do you get to that point? Or like I said again, if one doesn't get to that point, what do they do?
Well, like they've been. The point of that is that we have to have a mutual respect for one another. Right. That's the thing. You know, I respect my wife. She respects me. Most common relationships, do relations matter? The other gender's already thinking like, man, they already want to know if we're cheating. Are we going to cheat? Are we going to attempt to cheat? What kind of priors do you have? You know, so that's where my first thing, where it seems like, hey, you know, relationships are based on build on. So sometimes you should know that when you first start dating a person.
Yeah. You got to check this out first.
Don't
overlook stuff. You got to look through those red flags. That goes for both individuals. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that gets overlooked, or for a female more so, probably they overlook a lot of stuff depending on how they become attached to the person or whatever the case may be. You know, they just may overlook it because they think they're in love now and all this stuff. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
I mean, just out on this, man. You know. Nowadays, in relationships, man, you got to know their 401k. You got to know their freaking credit score.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They have other
if you're talking about doing all of these things together, definitely.
Why would you put yourself in a predicament in a relationship, knowing that other individual has a lot of, you know what I mean, background to it? So you're not doing your homework, obviously. So when things start happening, the relationship is, you know, unsteady from the beginning. Now, I ain't saying that if things.
But you have some people that overlook a lot of stuff because they just want love. You know what I mean? And they'll kind of accept, even to the point where they'll do more, carry more of the weight, do whatever just to keep that person. You know, if people exist like that. You know what I mean?
But
what do you say to those people?
Would you call that love is blind sometimes?
Yeah.
You know, love is blind sometimes, man. You see your nice lady, man. She looks good on the outside, but on the inside, until you get to know them. It's all sour and grapes, man. That wine don't taste as good as I used to, right? That's where it ends up at. So I think sometimes people overlook, you know, their co-partners. You know, I mean, there's relationships in everything. Their job sites, you know, even relationships in animals, man. You see, people could be very domestic towards animals, man. The relationship that they encounter think that it's okay to abuse their animals because their feelings and their thoughts have been violated.
Right.
You know, animal cruelty is real. Child abuse is real.
Yeah.
You know, so it depends, you know, the upbringing of a relationship.
It's sad on that stuff. Some people, you'd be like, man, I wish I didn't even have kids. You know, they're just going to treat them like that, you know, but it's crazy. What was I going to say? Damn, I forgot that quick. It'll come back to me. But let me see. My circle is so small. It's a period. I hear that, Fernie. Trust, and you need to have time for oneself. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too. Kind of piggyback off of that. Do you think more people need to, like you said, be in tune more with their self first and have their self more on point before they try to jump into a relationship? Because sometimes that just happens too. People just go into relationships and the person is not the man or whatever he's supposed to be right now to get in that relationship. Then it goes all bad. you know, but you really shouldn't have been in there in the first place. Like you just said too, even with females or whoever checking things out more, or even besides checking it out, having that conversation. Are we really ready to do this, and what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Right. You go into that relationship, man, and you find out that people are just looking for that comfort, that father figure, that mother
Yeah.
figure. And it's just like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not that type of person that I'm looking for, man. I'm looking for
Right.
somebody that's going to be rock solid with me, stand side to side with me, not behind me or not in front of me, you know,
Right.
because if you're in front of me, you're in my way. And if you're behind me, then you're not supporting me all the way. You know,
Right.
relationships got to be side to side. There's a coexistence, right? You know what I mean? Your opinion matters and my opinion matters, and we just got to coexist and live one another, you know, and try to find that transparency with one another, you know, common ground. You know, we're always looking for common ground, right?
Right. Hey, check out the homie house, man. He said, I guess you know, today's time, say a couple wants to get, say a couple wants to get married. Do you think it's necessary for prenuptial agreements?
Prenuptial.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean,
That shit only means something if you really got, I mean, like if you're rich, I think, you know what I mean? Like we ain't really, I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't know really people's their motives, bro.
Right,
That's what
right.
it is. But it's
Right.
the other partner's aspect to investigate and find that information, right? If I'm a millionaire and my wife wasn't, does she really love me for me or for my
Right.
money? You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at. But if I'm interested in her, then hey, it could be a up and down situation, you know. But that's why it's better to get to know somebody for a minute and then to just jump right into it. You know, that's my thing. That's how relationships. Don't you know that there's a high divorce rate? There's a high suicidal rate going on. You know, relationships don't even last no more than 2-3 years. You know, even
Yeah, it's
people.
all bad now.
Yeah, you look at celebrities with their prenuptial, you know, I mean, like you said, you know, they don't even last 6 months. They get married in 2 and they're divorced in 3. You know, so it's just like, you know, it's what's out there.
Yeah, it's all bad, man. So salute to you and your wife, man. 17, 18, however many years you guys have been married, man. Salute to you guys, man. You know,
it's not easy.
Standing tall through it all.
Yeah, it's not easy, bro. One thing about marriage or relationships, I think a lot of us could testify, it takes work, bro. It takes a lot of work, man. You know, it's not easy. And that's one thing that they don't teach is that, you know what I mean? We'll go back to the vows, you know what I mean? To sick through poor, sick in the house, rich or poor, you know what I mean? All that good stuff, man. It's the vows that we make. And sometimes we overthink those vows and think that we could just break them instead of committing to them. But I'm not saying that all relationships are bad, right? I'm not saying relationships are bad either. They're important. You know, I have a relationship. Me and you have a relationship, right? I have a relationship when I go to the gym. I have a relationship when I go to work. You know, I have a relationship with my kids, my daughter. There's many forms of relationships that we do, and one's a different lingos to another one. But in all aspects, it comes down to who you are as an individual.
Right.
That's where it comes down to. It's what type of person you are. And sometimes in relationships, we need one another, you know, so we could understand. That's why the other coexistence there to help you when you're stumbling, when you need to be checked, you know, when somebody needs to tell you right for wrong. Like my wife always tell me, she goes, "I'm your wife, I'm not your mother." I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You know, in some retrospect, hey, I'm your husband, I'm not your dad. You know what I'm saying? That's where it comes down to.
Hey, do you think it's still like some people may think like the homie who's that Fernie house Joker house? He said people be acting weird nowadays, so I always be better solo. Do you still think it's hope for people out there to like find real love nowadays? You know what I mean? Someone like a Fernie, you know, with all the sauce, who gave all the sauce away, and just now looking for, you know, still looking for love, or is it possible, or some people don't care anymore, or what?
Yeah, well, you know, it's a good question, Pops. You just got to find that individual that's like you, right?
Yeah.
That's why we get along, you know?
Yeah.
You know, of course you could find love that's out there, you know? Hey, misery loves company, right? That's what they say. So in some retrospect, if you're a miserable person, you're gonna find that miserable person. But if you're a person that you're gonna seek what you want, people sometimes in relationships, they're foul, or sometimes, they don't work out. It's because they're looking for an escape route. In my idea, like I said, it's very important as parents that we be the father and the mother to our children, so they ain't going out there looking for a father figure or a mother figure. We set the exampleship at home. That's why the relationship it matters in the home first. That's why the relationship with God really matters most importantly, right? Because it's like, hey, if my daughter brings her boyfriend over here, he's gonna know that my daughter has a mother and a father.
Right.
That made my parents believe in God.
Yeah, that's automatic. He knows he can't. Yeah, like, okay, I got to be on point. There's no messing around over here. Yeah.
So it sets an example.
I can't get. Yeah.
So I don't want no weasel coming over here thinking that he's gonna think he could play poppy to my daughter, but when she has her big poppy right here, right. So it does,
and that's a good look, like you said, and then that weeds away even the guys who may be on that type of stuff. They'll know she has a family, like a mom and a dad at home, that like, okay, I can't play around, so I'm not even gonna go over here if my intentions are really not there. You feel me?
Yeah, you can't creep in my weakness. You can't creep in on my shortcomings, because I've been there and done that. You know what I mean? I stood my ground. Even though I had some hardship with my wife, you know what I mean? Hey, when he asked us, how long has your mom and dad been together steadily? Oh, they've been with each other for 15 years, man. So I'm showing that there's longevity in a relationship because it matters in my home. Now, if it matters in my home, you better believe that it's going to matter in my daughter's her head and her mindset. Hopefully. Not everything turns out like that, right? It's not, sometimes, the next generation has a way of upbringing, of them, because they think they know it all, they can do it all.
Right.
It's a foul trait.
Elliot said, or establishing a healthy balance, and or aware when you or your partner is off balance and needs to help balance one another back out.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a scale, man. Sometimes I have my bad days, and then my wife will have her good days. There's a balance. She will encourage me, inspire me, motivate me with her generosity, with her hope, with her kindness words. It's an understanding. That's why relationships, they matter. Do they? Yes, they do. As individual, if you look at it, right, the title, or it's the main word off of that is relationships, bro. I depend on you, right? I'm gonna be straight up, man. I text you something about last week, right? I sent it towards you, not disrespectfully, bro. I said it because I need your support, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't come at you no foul way or anything like that. I was just like, hey, Pops, I was looking at this. Am I right or wrong? Because I need that from you, man. You're giving me a platform. You're helping me. And it's a safe haven for me to know that, hey, I could trust on my homeboy Pops, man. It was no disrespect or any matter without you. We're just talking about we're talking about amongst each other, people. He knows what I'm talking about. What I mean?
Yeah.
But that's how much your friendship and your relationship to me matters, bro. And that's where it's at. How much, when you invest in people or when you collab with people, it's not always friends. You got to coexist with with one another. And with the other people that you're coexisting with, they come in all shapes and colors and forms, man. But we're here to build each other up. And sometimes in these days, we need to teach our children that there is a codependency amongst each other and relationships are important. And how do we display that? I think, honestly, it's in the home.
Okay, we got a split crowd, a chat out here. Like half of the chat is like, like how Fernie is, like they riding with Fernie. Like we ain't. I'm riding solo. I'm done. You know what I mean? And then you got others like Pamela Taylor said, I believe healthy relationships exist, and I think Elias, believes somewhere down there, somewhere too. But then you have like Cindy and the homie Fernie, like nah, I'm riding dolo.
Okay,
like
so
they've lost all hope. What up, Mac Malone?
Can we keep it real, though? Can we keep it real?
Keep it real. Let's talk about it.
Turned off. Hey, can we keep it real, though, man?
Keep it real.
It's what type of relationships you got involved in. It's what type of relationship you're looking forward. And that's why sometimes there's been a bump in the road and the fork in the road, as Smokey Robinson would say, right? Because
Right.
what were you going after? I'm telling you, these days you got to do your research amongst people, man. It's crazy because I was looking at YouTube earlier and I found out like even the relationships on YouTube, man, are getting crazy, man.
Oh yeah.
Serious,
Oh
man.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Serious, man.
Hollywood. It's Hollywood. Hollywood on
It's
YouTube.
starting to be, you know what I mean, like some mean old freaking drama. And it's just like, man, if we could do this and display this here, and when there's a lot of teenagers and young people are looking at us, what kind of exampleship are we going to be for the next generation, man? Then we wonder why you know what I mean, why the future is being the way they are, acting careless. You know, they have no morals, no values, no relationship importancy when it comes to being responsible and accountable and everything that we've been talking about, bro. And that's why, you know what I mean? If Fern Dogs, you know, has been in some sour information, what kind of girlfriend were you looking for, perro? You know, Cindy, it depends what kind of man were you looking for that kind of made you, you know, go think that way. Not all men or not all women are like that. You just got to do your research and know what you're looking for. That's my opinion. Because let me tell you something. It looks good on the outside, but on the inside, it could be very foul, man. Trust me.
Pam said, "I'm not afraid of love." Oh, Pam.
Exactly.
She's
Ain't
not
nothing
afraid.
wrong with love, man. Hey, that part, man. You know, there ain't nothing wrong with love. You know, relationships are important to me. Are they important to you guys? You know, Fern Dog, I'm pretty sure you have a family. You know, Cindy, you have a family. What kind of relationships are important to you? And those are the ones that you got to revert back to and build a relationship on those ones and build your some, you know what I mean? So you got to build yourself up to that. So when you go out again and whether you're going to meet the third girl, fourth girl, fifth man, sixth man, I ain't saying it like that, but you know what I mean? You got to learn. It has to come from somewhere.
Seems like seems like somewhere Fernie's been couple, maybe, I'm going to say hurt or just, you know, when things happen to make you just like back up for a minute. You know, like you said, no, I ain't lose hope. All I'm saying is I can't be down for you if I don't trust you and you ain't down for me. Oh,
Right,
most definitely. I mean, yeah, that was definitely, you know, but like you said, you have to get to that point. But like you say, you have to be a good judge of character, man, especially in these days. We don't really have excuses anymore, even for ourselves. We can't blame the other person just as much as we can blame ourselves. We got to take responsibility for ourselves. So we got to be a better judge of character or know what we're getting into as well and try to figure these things out. Like you said, really, you got to really do the look on the back pages and inside. You know what I mean? You can't just go off of, like you said, the outside or someone's this or that, or you think or just sex or whatever, but you don't really know that person. And then when you do, it's too late.
You got to fact check people these days, man.
Brenda, what up, Brenda Love?
Brenda Love.
LA to Houston, what up?
Right from CYA Entertainment. What's up, Tejas?
LA, what it do?
What it do, baby? The homie Tejas right there from CYA.
What up,
but
though?
Yeah, man, I hate to say it, man. These days, man, you get in a car, you know what I mean, and with a bunch of people, man, you'll be surprised that you know everybody else is totally different. I mean,
oh yeah,
when we could start agreeing and saying that, hey, when people are different, then we'll start understanding, man. You know, you can't expect, you know, the girl that you're looking at to be like your grandma or your mom. You can't expect, you know what I mean, the man you're dating to be like your dad or your grandpa. You know, everybody has a different cartilage mind. You know, their tone and their set. You might like oldies and they might like country, man. You know what I'm saying? And then at that point, you're starting an argument. Right. You know, at that point, you're like, oh man, you know, to stop playing that crap and stop playing yours. And it's because
he's saying a great thing, B, and I'm glad you're speaking on this because even this is something I've thought about. As I, you know, now older and different, you know, thinking fully. You know, you have to think all of these things out because a lot of times what happens, we do, especially when you're single, you know, whatever you meet people, it could be at the gym anywhere. You meet someone, you go off with probably their appearance, how they look. Oh, she's bad, and you or whatever the case. Same with a female. He's handsome, he's cute. You guys go off of that and start talking, and like you said, what are really the intentions, or what is not the intentions? You know what I mean? But you really gotta do more of your homework. Find out if you are this is someone you really want or you think you like. What do we have in common? Some of the little small things, you know, at least find out about because those can be important. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you don't find out some of these things till later after you probably been attached, maybe had sex and been doing all this stuff to now you're maybe attached, but you may find out, oh, this ain't what I thought. That me and her don't, or she likes totally, like you said, different things that I hate, but she loves them. You know what I mean? So,
You know,
but
I like
but
Chinese.
now it's too late.
I like Mexican food. She might like Chinese food. Doesn't mean that, hey, man,
No, I don't mean a bad thing, but like you said, do these things clash once you find out after the fact?
Right. Get to know the other individual that you're investing or having a relationship with. It doesn't
That
mean
part.
just a female. It could be the person that it could be like I said, your co-host, your co-worker, your co-student. I mean, there's a lot of things where people come out and they say, hey, man, I get to know an individual. I've been with him, you know what I mean? Talked to him, dated her, dated him. And I'm finding out that we have a lot of things that we don't agree on. So at that point, a little bit of knowledge or a little bit of sense would tell you, hey, man, there's some, I ain't going to say they're red flags, because let me tell you one thing. Let me ask you this, Pops. Do you think as human beings, male and female, or male and women, do you think that life is, we're supposed to be by ourselves totally?
No,
of course. No. What do you think?
No. I think what has happened now is harder. I think just what it is harder for like people, real people like that have really been through stuff. Like if you made it out, like it's almost like with you, your situation is beautiful, man. That's why I'm glad I saluted you guys made it. But if you have other people who didn't have that similar thing, or maybe they've had some bad experiences, it's hard, like especially when you get to a certain age. Like I'm seeing certain people out here, I'm seeing their age or whatever, and I know how old I am. You get to a certain age, and it's like, now you still definitely want love. It's someone you hope that's out there and all this, but now you're guarded. Your expectations are high, not only high, but you know what kind of like what you want and like and what you think you should need and whatever the case may be. So you it's hard, I think, for you to find that person without per se looking for them, because you're not, if you're not, I don't think people's out on the scene dating and all that anymore. I don't know what people do. You know what I mean? But how do you find that now? And just like say, like Cindy says right here, a lot of people these days are weird. Like Frank said, I ain't looking for anyone. I'm trying to be single when I turn 40. But it's still good to hear what everyone has to say. So maybe she's saying she's accepting applications, but she's just not hiring per se. I don't know. But I'm always accepting applications.
She's not hiring on her department right now.
Right. But I always take applications and pass them here, or you can leave it in the thing right here, and I'll take a look at it. If one grabs me, we'll
but it's
see.
Weird. Yeah, but it's weird though, because society, we are built as human beings, to coexist and to have relationships. That's what it. Let's just put the common ground out there. Doesn't mean that, yeah, you're right. Doesn't mean you might not like this person, that person. But one thing about relationships, that you could fall in love, and there's nothing wrong with love. You know what I mean? Love is very important. That's how human beings coexist, because, I was inspired, I was admired, and I was, by the way that person talks, the way that person looks, the way that person carries themselves. And that's where the relationship becomes, and that's how you build it. It's important, and then sometimes, when, like we said, we've been discussing, we're talking about it, is that it could be very ugly, at the same time, because you don't know what kind of package this other individual is carrying. You know how they say the homies are packing? Well, people pack characteristics, man. People pack, their baggage, and that's why they got in and they dipped out. They got their package and they got their stuff and they dipped.
They out, yeah.
They took off, man.
Out of there.
And it's crazy, because in relationships, people stay in the relationship. They get tormented. They get beaten. They get abused.
They stay over when they're past due. They should be out of there already.
And that's why the other person, when they try to find that individual, they find a person that's broken. And that's why relationships important? Yes, they are. Yes, they are, because you might be that person that can help that person. I ain't going to say you're going to be their savior, but you might make a change in their life. And that's all why, relationships are important in today's lives, man. We need each other, man. And Cindy,
I'm tripping on these Cindy a trip. Hey, but check it. Hold on, I'm gonna get to Cindy in 1 minute. Let me read Ellie. Hold on. Let me read Ellie's comment. Hey, please call in. People call. We got the number up there if anyone wants to call in too.
Call in, man.
But look, Elliot said, I'm single by choice, but definitely know all men aren't the same. I want to be better, not bitter, because I'm in a different mind state. growth for myself and within myself is what I prioritize.
Let me see. I didn't read
Brenda
that.
said, "Oh, you didn't read it? Hold on, let me take it back. Can you
I'm
see it?
single. Yeah, let me read it. I'm single
All
by
right.
choice, outside, but definitely now all men aren't the same. I want to be better, not bitter, because I'm different mind state, growth myself and within myself, and I prioritize. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, Elliot's talking about, but see, she's talking about before you go into a relationship. You know what I mean? Make sure you heal yourself. Better
Yeah, you gotta
yourself,
get. Yeah, yeah.
mandate yourself, check yourself. Do yourself the self evaluation, right? Do yourself, you know what I mean, the diversity before you go into anybody else's platform or into their house. Make sure because when you know what you are, then you know what you're looking for out there. Straight
Right.
up, man. Like I said, I might like steak, you might like chicken. And don't get mad at me because I like steak and you don't like chicken. But if we could find
Right.
some common ground, then the relationship builds. Relationships are about building, one
Right.
another
That
physically,
part.
mentally, socially, emotionally, but most of all spiritually, man. And people these days are diverse. They're not about building. They're not about the relationship. It's sad, man. Let me tell you something. It's real sad. Let's talk about it, right? It's sad when I see a homeless person, man, and with their, how they coexist with an animal, mostly dogs and their cats. That's their relationship, right? Because they've been so diverse and so hurt and so disrespected by humankind that they'll depend on a relationship of an animal. Nothing wrong because God made animals, right? But that's just straight up, man. The dog don't talk back. All the dog asks what the other person asks. Feed me. And it's a
Right.
tool too. It's a foul tool. Because if you're hungry, the dog is hungry. And people, they look at the dog more than they will look at the homeless person. Because we have relationship with animals. I have dogs. People have cats, and that's how it goes. It's diverse. It's pretty crazy, man. It's sad to say, but that's what people are looking for. When we go in there, we're looking for father figures and mother figures. You're not supposed to be looking for that in a relationship. You're supposed to be looking for a partner. That's just my opinion.
Brenda Love said, "We're not meant to be alone." Adam and Eve.
Right, right, right. Even with that, like I said, if I could go back to my spirituality, I go back to God, man. Let's just say, God forbid, my wife passes away, or anything else. My daughter, God forbid, anything could happen, man. Anything could be taken away from us. And if we're not ready and have that self confidence within ourselves, how do you expect to go out and have a relationship with somebody else? These are
Right.
past experiences, man. These are things that we got to grow. You have to love yourself first. When you love yourself and give yourself a chance, then you'll be better not only for your partner, but your co-worker. You'll be good for the student. Your people at school and
That's
so
a good one
forth.
right there.
You
Check
know,
out the homie LA to Houston said loyalty is becoming scarce today.
really. I mean, check this out, man. I don't know if you know this, pops. But look at today, man, or yesterday was another mass shooting, right?
Yeah.
Straight up, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the people who, had to encounter that. It was 3 people that were killed yesterday, bro. And we all come out here and we say relationships ain't important, but when somebody's trying to kill somebody's relationship, a husband and a wife got killed yesterday, bro.
Damn.
It's
Rest
just
in
like,
peace.
relationships are being destroyed, man, by people
Yeah.
like me, people like you, not in us in particular, but we don't know who it is. And it's like homeboy said, or homegirl said,
It's hurt people most of the time. When I'm finding out, a lot of the times it's like hurt people already, so they want to go hurt someone else, but they're hurting the wrong. Well, you shouldn't be hurting anyone, period. You know what I mean? But
that's the world we
they
live
go
in.
out and hate and hurt people that didn't hurt them, though. When they're
Right.
hurt for whatever reason, they're hurt. They go out and hurt people that had nothing to do with their hurt. You know what I mean?
That's true right
I
there.
don't know.
But that's what we're teaching today, pops, in today's society. And then when we could come out and speak about it, you know what I mean? Keep it raw, keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Then we got to stand up and not only talk about it, but be about it, man. Be diverse, like I said, I even get tripping out on YouTube, man. People coming out, they're saying one thing for 1 year, 2 years, and find 3 years later, they're a totally different person.
Totally different.
It's just like, and I get it. Nobody's perfect. I get it. Nobody's perfect. We're all, guilty of it. We're not trying, but when you keep displaying it, somebody's about to get checked, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and what helps
Yeah,
me
this
out,
YouTube stuff is crazy though. We got people like you go back. It's just I don't know, man.
It's hard, man. You know, it's hard. Like I said, people's days in relationship, they don't last no more than 3 to 5 months, bro. You know, straight up, man. When it should be that when you find somebody, you should be finding people with common ground, man. So you could build a relationship, man. You know, so
but like you say again, it just goes back to what are your true intentions, or what are you trying to get out of a relationship or do, or like what is it? Like a lot of times the relationships now are based on different reasons. Like the things you would think they should be on be way in the back. You know what I mean? They're doing other stuff, like you said, they just make people just connect now just physically and just, you know, for whatever like the night may bring type stuff. You know what I mean? And then you may connect and they just connect that way off of however they connect through, you know what I mean? And the other things they need to look for is way in the back. So they find those things out, like I said, later when it's too late now. And it's like, oh, I hate this person now or whatever, but you're pregnant and all this stuff now.
That's truth right there, bro. That is very true, man. Don't you notice, bro, back in the days, Pops, in the 80s, and, you know, we're growing up, we saw the same cartoons, ate the same cereal, man. You know what I mean? Played at the same freaking sandlot. You know, saw the same movies, man. Things were a lot easier back then, man. You know, there was a relationship was feeding, man. I grew up with that vato, eh? I grew up with that homie right there, man. I grew up with the girl down the block, man. And now, you know, a lot of them, they're very successful, but these days it's pretty scary because what are we growing up on now? What are we growing up to now, man? What kind of relationships are we looking forward to today's day, man? You know, like I said, man,
there's really no good examples for anything for these youngsters to look up to. You know, most of the stuff they do look up to is just not good. You know what I mean? It's
there's no roots, my boy. There's no roots.
Or it's just ratchet.
You know, roots you grow on, bro. You know, you grow on roots.
Oh yeah, there's no roots. Nah, everything's artificial. All artificial grass out there, man.
Like a bunch of weeds, man. You know what I mean?
Serious though, it is. Most of the stuff is artificial, man. So there's really no foundation or roots to grow from. You know, so what happens then?
I mean, you don't. I mean, to be honest with you, you don't even know if it's a female or a male, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't mocking anybody. YouTube, you know, we're not discriminating, but sometimes even those type of individuals can be liars. Let's keep it real, man. You know, they're not being very truthful. You know, what kind of relationship are they looking for? To deceive and to lie to the other person? Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. Let me see. Monica said, have your non-negotiables, things that you're not willing to compromise. Absolutes, because your heart will lead you wrong. So you have to go to the non-negotiables so you don't walk in blind love.
Yeah,
what do you take from that?
Yeah, it's negotiable, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's non-negotiable.
Everything is non-negotiable.
It's non-negotiable, man. If you go in a relationship and you find out that your boyfriend, let's just say your boyfriend, you know, and he's an alcoholic, and you're wondering why your relationship don't work, it's non-negotiable because that's not the type of person I want to date. If you go in a relationship, you find out your girl, you know what I mean, she's a drug addict. You know, but you know, you go in there and you want to build a relationship, it's not going to work because it's non-negotiable. You don't want to be with a drug addict,
right?
You know, that I think that's what she was trying to, you know, say, man. You know, you gotta be careful. You know what I mean? Because everything these days is negotiable, right? Well, It's all right if you're like this. I'll accept you if you're like that. But in 2 weeks, you guys are already broken up and divorced, bro.
Right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what she was trying to say, man. You know?
Yeah, I'm tripping on. Yeah. The homegirl.
Keep it
real,
homegirl,
Cindy.
Come on, people. You know what I'm saying?
Cindy's crazy.
Make sure you guys like that, hit that like buttons. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys are sharing what we're sharing, man, because you know sharing is caring, man. You know, straight up. You know.
Shout out to Pam. Pam believes in love still.
Where's
Shout
the
out to you, Pam.
Where's the number at? You
she said I had a booty call. Cindy's a trip. Hold on. Okay, let me see.
Hold on. You know, somebody wants. There it is. You know, don't hurt yourself.
I had a booty call.
You know what I'm saying? Check it out. It's 213
444 6764.
6764.
He said, huh? He said what? 4. He said what? 4. Again, 4. Again.
You know what I mean? This is crazy, man. You know what I mean? Like I
Oh
said,
my
my
God.
relationship is, it was built on solid ground, and I think it's actually because of God, man. And in all honesty, and it hasn't been perfect.
Right.
We've been willing to fight and to make it work, and that's how it goes. I understand her, and she understands me. Me and Pops can go out to 3:00 in the morning, and she knows that I'm going to be loyal to her, and I'm going to be faithful to her, and I won't do the things that she thinks that other people will. She trusts me, you know. So if she trusts me, she'll trust the next individual. That's the way relationships work, man. And these days, in all honesty, some relationships you can't even trust, man. Right? So, shame on shame on me and shame on you. Either way, right?
Hold on, we got a caller, Big D. Caller,
Go for
hello.
it.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up?
Okay, so I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on what I wrote.
Okay.
I'm not saying not to love or be in love, but they're non-negotiables, meaning like you have to look at the person like if this is someone you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Right.
Are you going to be able to be with that person with everything that you see, like Robert was saying? It's not a judgment. It's just they're non-negotiables. They're just things that, because when you go get with the person or you fall in love, your heart leads you wrong, even though you know it's the wrong person, right? Because your feelings take over, and so you're blindly in love, and you just you're going with how you feel for the moment, but you're not remembering what you have to deal with later on in the future.
Right.
And sometimes people get together and they complain later because of what they're with now. And
they become unhappy.
Together we grow. We grow for the better. And some people don't want to grow for the better. You got one that wants to grow and the other one that doesn't. But you knew what they were about when you were with them from the beginning, because you didn't stick with your non-negotiables. So then now you're complaining because of the way the person is. But you already knew they were like that when you were with them.
Right.
So how can you complain?
Right.
So now you got to be patient and grow with them, whether they grow or not. When you're married, you made vows. You have to pray. You have to stick with them till they change. And then what if they never change? What are you gonna do? Walk away?
So hold up, Monica.
Loyalty,
Yeah, that loyalty. It's just like Elliot just said, loyalty over love. So sometimes the two get confused, loyalty and love, and especially when it comes to females, more often they be in that predicament a lot. I've seen it personally. Like you said, a female is in love or whatever the case, where now at this point it is not good for her, but she loves this person and will stay down and for him and all of this. But even though like you said, she's being treated bad or beaten or whatever the case may be, but they don't know how to just leave this person.
That's different. Domestic violence is different.
Well, as a whole, I mean, domestic violence, it could be verbal. I mean,
Yeah. Well, the thing is that even if you're still in a relationship, you have to still have boundaries.
Right.
Even if the situation is going on, and a lot of times women are not strong enough to put the boundaries, and that's why I'm telling you that the non-negotiables and the absolutes, you have to stick to those, because when you're in a relationship, you write those down, right? Okay, you don't want someone who drinks because you don't drink, or you don't want someone who's verbally abusive to you, or these are the non-negotiables, the absolutes. Like, there's no way I'm going to be with a person that's like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, right? So you write it down. Because at the end of the day, our hearts will deceive us because of how we feel. Emotions are temporary. They're like waves. They come and go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But a commitment, there's times that, and I'm going to be real with you guys. Let's talk about it, right?
Let's talk about it.
There's times that I know at one point my husband didn't love me. Not that he didn't love me, but we weren't in love a lot of times.
Wow.
It felt like, do I still love him? I had to ask myself that question. And I'm sure he had to ask himself that question. But where do we go back to? The vows, the non-negotiables, the absolutes. We will not get a divorce at any cost. Meaning, we had to do our part and work on ourselves. So if there was a situation and we were both feeling like that, we had to huddle and be like, okay, where do we go from here? Because this is not working.
Yeah.
Communicate. and say, okay, this is how I really, and to get raw and honest. So that way we know where to go, because if we're constantly just trying to pretend or act, you get nowhere like that.
Yeah, that's where a lot of relationships are these days. A lot of pretending and acting, man. You know what I'm saying? So we wonder why, you know what I mean, do relationships matter, man? Depending. If you're going to be a liar in the relationship, you ain't going to make it. If you're going to be truthful in the relationship, you have a good chance, you know, straight up, man.
Because in relationships, feelings come and go.
Yeah.
But we made a commitment. We made a vow that we would, and whatever we were doing wrong, we fell in love all over again. But every time we fell in love, it was greater because we worked together. We worked together, and it became a different type of love. It became more stronger. It became, we went through those tough times.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we grew stronger, and now, you know, we already know how to communicate through those tough times. But anyway,
it's not. It's like I said, man. It's not. It's peaches and cream, but it has its salt and pepper days as well, you know. So, you know, we grow every day. We're growing, man. But you know, one thing about this relationship, like I said, we're both learning. You know, you got two people from the streets, two people that had different diversity, different plans, different goals, and we came together and we made a vow and a commitment to one another, and that's why this relationship, it matters to me, because what even matters even more, we gave birth to a child. So now we have to learn more responsibility, accountability, you know, all that comes hand in hand, and be more responsibility. So we're teaching each other as we grow. That's why relationships are important, because we grow together as one. You know what I mean? Doesn't it say two better? When you go in a fight with two better bodies in a fight is better than one body in a fight. You know, when you're going against 10 people and there's only one of you, you know, it's going to hurt. But when you have two more, it's going to hurt less. And the more people you have supporting you, the more people you build a relationship, and that positivity, and you know what you're looking for, you don't have to worry about all, you know, I mean, the negativity, if this person has my back or not. That's what I'm saying in relationships, you know, before it becomes, you know, you start out as your boyfriend and your girlfriend. And for all you young people that are out there that are dating, make sure you guys, you know what I mean, you evaluate, you do your research on your other half. You meet the parents before you give up. Not only, I'm going to say women's virginity, but us as men as well. You know, it goes hand in hand. I think a man's virginity is just as most important as a woman's virginity, because, you know, it has to conduct with the relationship, man, you know, and that's where it comes hand in hand, straight up.
And don't get me wrong, we've always loved each other, but your feelings could lie to you, because you're looking at certain things in the person, or you want to change the person, you want them to be a certain way, you give them a timeline. That's not fair to the other person.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing in a relationship. You can't have timelines, man. That's what I noticed. You can't expect this person to change like this, man. That's one thing I noticed about, you know, our relationship, is that I always try to tell my wife for a long time how to be and what to do, because she wasn't meeting my expectations, and I found out I was killing.
Wow, like that, Big D?
Yeah, straight up, man. I'll keep it real, man. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. You know, let's talk about it. You know what I mean? There was, and not realizing, because like I said, when you go into a relationship, I'm putting it out there because I had a relationship's all about learning. You know, we learn, you know, it could be good or it could be bad. And I was finding out I was being more of a hindrance and a stumble in the relationship than being actually a positive and a supportive of the relationship. I learned too.
Hey, Elliot said, let me read a few comments. Elliot said, are you still there, Monica? Uh-oh.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Elliot said, if you can't have meaningful relationships, meaning friends, family, love, then it's time to do some self-reflecting. Relationships are important. We all learn from one another.
Yes, I mean, Elliot said it. When you don't have your dating partner there, who are you co-depending on? Your family, man. And even family relationships, I don't know about you, but I had some sour ones before. You know, like I said, I don't have a fair relationship with my mother, and I'm putting my business out there. But doesn't mean I hate my mother. Doesn't mean I despise my mother, you know, anything like that. I just think we haven't built that relationship, and she pretty much came and moved on. And I couldn't accept that. Back then, I couldn't. But now I put myself in her shoes, and I found out what kind of relationship. I'm not trying to destroy her relationship that she has with her husband, my stepfather. and with her kids, which are my other siblings. You know, sometimes you got to know when to step away, just like anything else. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, you got to step away from it.
So my thing is, what are your values? What will you accept and what will you not accept?
Right,
You gotta
right.
have self-care, because not self-care as in selfishness, like self-care. Self-care, like, you know what? I've come too far, and my heart is tender, and my heart is of love, and my heart is of kindness and peace. You're not gonna allow someone to come and ravish that.
Right.
When you work so hard, like Elliot was saying, self-evaluating yourself.
Right.
And you attract what you are
Right.
inside. So you gotta get away from blaming the other person, because you have to be whole and have boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
you
I
value
agree with
yourself,
that. You got to take responsibility
You
for
won't
yourself.
allow that person to come into your life and abuse you or take advantage. But a lot of times, because we're broken and we're wounded and we have a lot of hurt inside, we accept less than what we're worth.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it becomes two
Wow.
toxic
She
people
said that right there.
trying
Man.
to coexist.
That's real talk right there. Real talk. Let's talk about it.
But yeah, so my first thing is for anybody. My recommendation is to get whole and healthy first before you try to bring another person into your life.
Yeah, love yourself, man.
Because if you don't, you're just gonna attract your brokenness. And you got two people broken trying to love each other when there's still healing that needs to take place in that.
Right. Right.
And once you do that, then you're able to find the right person for you. And there is a lot of people out there who are willing to get in the fight with you and stay in it for the long run.
Right. Yeah, someone is
But
out
thank you
there.
guys.
It's hard.
Thank you for letting me share. I'm going to let you guys go. I don't want to
Okay.
take up the...
Thank you, Monica. Thank you, sis.
We should have had
Great
her.
insight. We appreciated you.
Should have fell in for 2Souls.
Yeah, we should have had you as a special guest,
I
but
can do the next one. If you need me, I'm available, okay?
okay. Thank you.
Okay, God bless you guys.
All right,
All
shout
right,
out
God
to
bless
my
you too.
wife right now. She just dropped the
Shout
time
out, shout out to wifey, man. Shout out to that's Big
She
D's
dropped the
wife,
time on me.
Monica. You know what I mean? Shout out to her. Shout out to Big Devil. What up? Everyone out there in the chat. Let me see. It's a lot of people out there interacting.
You
We
go,
appreciate the
give
love and
us
support.
Shout out to the shout outs.
Yeah, hold on, let me see. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
You know, we do, like I said, man, it's a hot topic. Summertime over here in Southern California.
Yeah,
Wherever you're
summertime in the
You know?
shout out to Yessie. What up, Yessie? Okay, let me see. Yeah. Shout out to Denise Castillo. She said
That's
where is
right.
she
My
at?
home right there.
30, yeah. She said 32 years. I can't find her. But she said she's been married 32 years.
Yeah, that's a big
Salute to you. But like Big D is wife, and he said, is in it doesn't mean salute, but it doesn't mean, because 32 years is a long time. So I'm sure you guys had your ups and downs, smiles and frowns.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Baby Snoop Dogg there.
Yeah. There will be ups and downs, smiles and frowns.
I mean,
with me.
that's why I miss those 90s, man. I miss those 90s music and all that,
Hey,
man.
man.
Oh,
Let's
damn.
talk about it.
How'd you get in
Hey,
that?
see what I mean?
See
what I
what
mean? Hey. Hey, see.
That part, man. You know what I'm saying? That
Hey.
part right there, man.
That part.
You know, relationships are all about growing, man. It's just growing amongst each other. You're gonna grow with your relationship, or you're gonna non-grow. Like I said, this isn't just your life. You know, this is into the corporation, the workforce. And, it could be, in school. I had a lot of relationships when I was going to college, man. You got to collab with people. YouTubing. I have a relationship with you, Pops. You know what I mean? We collab, and every once in a while, we share the algorithm, and we're just trying to provide, a positive platform, man. Straight up, man.
That part. He said we are our own person, never change to be like him or him either. And let me see. No way. Don't try to change anyone you meet.
Yeah.
Just meet the right person. Take time to see the qualities in them.
Yeah, that part right there, man. That's a good illustration right there, man.
Yes, he says, love is beautiful, but a private life is the best. I like that. see, because nowadays too, with all the social media and all this stuff right here, you put too much on it sometimes, and then it ain't, you putting 10 on 2, and then
That's
it
true,
doesn't add
man.
up.
That's
You know
true.
what I
I
mean?
see it on Instagram, and people be posting, "Oh, this relationship ain't working. Oh, this and that." You're right, man. People are just putting their crap out there, dude. So
Right,
I expect the other, your husband or your boyfriend's looking at this. So what kind of
right,
relationship do you want, man? When you're
right.
putting that crap out there, it's more like
Facts.
disrespecting right there, man. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. She has a good point on that one.
That's a good one, Yessie. Facts. Let me see. Pam said relationships are not hard. What happened to healthy relationships?
Yeah,
It's just the days we live in. We're in a different time right now, though. You know what I mean? Where all that's out there is a lot of there's no good examples of healthy relationships. Is what I mean. Like even back in the days, some
I
TV
can't.
shows, some different all. I mean, as a whole, it's there, but I'm saying as a whole, what they present to us is not.
Right, but see, that's why people I could say me and you, bro. You know what I mean? We're trying to change that narrative, man.
For sure.
We're trying to let the community know that black and brown can coexist. Whether you're Asian, whether you're white, that we're trying to change that narrative, man. We come together and we can get along. My relationship, like I said, it's important, man. To you,
Definitely.
and I hope you feel the same way. Likewise to me. Now,
for sure.
I ain't saying I'm gonna marry you, pops. Because I'm already married, homie.
Nah, but like you said, it don't matter about anything, man. It's about respect, man, and
that's it, man. I think relationships
it's simple.
built on respect, bro.
Respect.
Respect. Bro.
Treat somebody like you would want to be treated. You know what I mean? Period.
That part right there, man. Yes, you could have said it any better, man. Yeah, but like my wife said.
That part. I heard her. That's real. That's why it goes back to what we said too. Evaluate, take self-evaluation. You know what I mean? Learn yourself. Learn, especially at the age we are now. We're not kids anymore. So there should be no excuses, man. You know what I mean? So take more accountability, responsibility for yourself first. You know what I mean? Know who you are. You know what I mean? First.
Yes, the identity. Yeah, find your identity, man. That's where.
Yeah, find your identity. Don't have an identity crisis at 40 plus or however old you are. Learn yourself and know who you are first, man.
Yeah. We'll accept you. But you're gonna have to love yourself first, before I can, because
that part. That part.
Oh my God, man. Well, the Pamela T.
Traveling Charlie, what up? Saludos, G-Lew, Big D, tap in late for showing love. What up, homie?
Got nothing but time for you, Traveling Charlie. Got nothing but time, baby.
Yeah. Let me see. Elliot says some people only know dysfunction, and that is true. And see, but that's where again people have to take responsibility and accountability. Ladies, if you have to take, if you're dealing with a nut cat, like this dude is some red flags. He's a little nutty, but for whatever reason, with females, they may like this guy. You know what I mean? It's just something about this guy, or they may have had a crush on him or whatever. But you hang out with him one night, and then you find out, oh, it's some red flags. But you know what I mean? You overlooked them. You know what I mean? So at this point, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take accountability.
Right. And even though like some of the households, like I said, in relationships, bro, do they matter? Some of the household relationships were very abusive, bro. So that's why things are acceptable.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? To not only females, but males as us growing up. So, the man that beats on you most likely was beaten when he was young.
Yeah. It's
the most likely, the female that, was very abusive to us men. Most likely she was abusive when she was young. So that's what I'm saying. You got to do your research, and it's very important, man, because characteristics, comes a long way. Now, if you're willing to develop yourself and grow on a person, then that's love. But if you're willing to walk away that quick, man, then that's not a healthy relationship. And sometimes you got to get yourself out on like Pop said, you got to get out of that relationship, and you got to find yourself some counseling, because all it's gonna do is tear yourself apart, man. And then if God forbid if you're bringing the next generation then we're not teaching. We're more like, we're just not wasting our time, but we got to be preaching and teaching the good news, man. Straight up.
Right. And I don't depend on another person. And don't depend on another person. See, that goes again. Don't depend on another person to make you happy. See, that goes again with self-love and self-evaluate. Learn to love yourself first. You have to learn you have to love yourself and to be able to love someone else.
Yes,
And
it
I
does.
know that
Love,
sounds cliche,
yeah.
and that's
No,
really what we learn too. That's what I'm saying. As you get older, now we really know this. But when we're younger, we don't know. That's why a lot of times when we're young, young minded or whatever, we're young in our teens. That's why a lot of times that happens. Females that get pregnant, or a dude thinks like we used to think like as dumb as that sounds, it was cool to get a female pregnant. Sometimes just to think that had something to do with your manhood, or going to prison, or to the county, homie. Just
right,
that's gonna prove my manhood. So these
right.
are the things we think and are misformed about.
I
You know what
think
I'm
that
saying?
applies. I think that applies to people who don't even love themselves, though. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're inquiring. They have to inquire some endeavors in order to feel themselves. So when people who don't love themselves, they do dramatic things. That's where they get young teenagers. I could say they go out looking for love in all the wrong places. They end up getting pregnant,
Mm.
thinking this guy's going to be a father figure,
And
and
you
he's
know
not.
he's not. He's nowhere near. He knows. Yeah.
Nowhere near. He's actually more worse than the other man was. To tell you the truth. So it happens. Like, it varies, bro. You gotta, like you said, you gotta love yourself first, Pop. Straight up,
What
man.
the hell?
Some people don't know how to do
Right.
that. Straight up. Some people don't know how to, because as young children, the violence that we encounter. Not every household is a house on the prairie.
Right. Right. Right.
So,
The homie house too. When you wake up, I'm tripping on that last. When you wake up, look in the mirror and say you're beautiful or handsome, and woman's wait.
and
Oh,
vámonos.
vominos to start the day off. Okay. Yeah, you know what I mean. You got to start, with positivity. First, you start. Well, I don't know
Yeah,
who's
that's
not even about being religious.
I like how
But get up in the morning and pray. You know what I mean? Start your day off with a good prayer, man. It's no better way to go. But
okay.
like
So
you said, go ahead.
what word was the primary word of his sentence, or what he was saying? You
What?
just said it right now.
Vominos?
Start.
No, just play.
You,
Yeah.
you
Start.
gotta start somewhere, man. You gotta
You
start
got to
somewhere.
start. Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
People read a book and they read the whole sentence, man, but they don't look at the PowerPoint of what word was. That's very important. And that one, like you said, what I mean? So you got to start loving yourself. You wake up in the mirror, telling yourself beautiful, find that encouraging words, man, to motivate yourself so you could be efficient and be a productive citizen out to the rest of that dying world, man.
That part. Western Ave Queen, what it do? That part. Cindy, let me see, because Cindy's been real. I like her input tonight. I feel like I can't be in a relationship. I take care of my mom. People don't seem to understand me, and my mom comes first. And I don't expect people to get it. Okay, so and that's good to know, but see, but everyone may not know like your situation, because it seems like you have a lot. Like
Right.
you said, you're guarded as well. You know what I mean?
She's
For
being
whatever
honest.
reason.
She's being
And
honest.
she's being I respect that. I respect that.
She can't get in a relationship. That's honesty.
I respect that. And now I'm seeing her open up more about like why
Right.
or what our issues are.
Right.
But Cindy,
Getting somewhere. We're getting
you
somewhere.
have to be open to someone who may understand or not understand that. So being real, I like how you are being real about it and telling
Right,
someone,
because
hey, look, this is what it is.
yeah, you're right, because she might find that next partner that's willing to wait and
Yeah.
help her
Yeah.
take care of her mom and show them the love that she needs.
Yeah, it might be a real one. It might be a real one out there for you,
Might be
Cindy.
a real one, man.
So it's like, you got to take that in consideration. But I understand,
He might be willing to learn, willing to be a commitment to and be accountable and not to quit, in this relationship, and give her some input and some feedback, that she might
Right.
think that she's missing. And you
Right,
just never know.
right.
That's why relationships are important. They matter.
But to her credit, I'll give her this, because I did hear a key thing she said earlier. Like, Cindy, I see she's
Yeah, I know. I see
intelligent.
her.
She said like she keeps saying that she's guarded. Like, probably like she ain't tripping. I'm not trying, but she'll listen to what someone has to say. Like I said again, you can leave your application there. I'm taking, doesn't mean I'm hiring, but you can leave your application. So
That's right.
I'll listen to what you have to say. So I give her that.
Yeah,
Shout
much
out to
respect,
Cindy.
Cindy, on that one. Much
Yeah,
respect
shout out to
on that
Cindy.
one.
Let me see. See some good ones I missed.
That one right there.
Which one?
Let's see. True to that. Where's that one at? Did you skip it?
Yeah, it was something
This
I
thing
missed.
jumped real quick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think inconsistency in a relationship is often it's poorly written sometimes, man. Sometimes we say oh, does a relationship matter? You know what I mean? It's sometimes the way that it is now these days, it's poorly written. You know,
Right.
people think that they could be how they say that oh, my mother's like my mother and my dad. You know, I mean, my dad was never around. No, that's poorly written. You know, I mean, you're not the father. You know, you're just a woman that stood ground to do what you had to do. So, you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying these days, sometimes the script is unscripted, you know, and it's not, you know, we give women for what they do, but they can never be a father figure, you know, never. Not taking away that a father can never take a woman's aspect either.
Right. Hey, the homie House said a good one, and Elliot agreed. Another big thing is not to just say "I love you" without actions. See, because that is true. The word love is tossed around real lightly these days, especially like you said, with probably people with relationships or new relationships. Someone's in love real quick. I love you. I love you. You know what I mean? And it's not really met with actions, or you don't really mean it. It's just something you say now. You know, and
I like
what do
how
you think about that?
Yeah, I like how he says that, you know what? Because I'm gonna give a demonstration, man. You know, Kobe Bryant, bro. You know what I mean? His dependency in his relationship was on his teammates, but he knew that he had to be, you know what I mean, self-efficient. He had to discipline himself. He would go to practice every morning, leave after every morning. He was trying to build himself so he could be that coexistent and that team leader and take up to championships, man. You know, he had a relationship with his sound. I'm just using another way of you know, what we're talking about, you know, like Kobe Bryant, man, you know what I mean? And NFL players, man, they discover and they discipline themselves. NBA players, hockey players, athletes, and so forth. You know, they take their relationship very important because they're coexisting. They're responsible for their other players, you know. The quarterback of the team, man, you know what I mean? He's the highlight of the offense, man, you know. Then you got the defensive line, the other coexistence of the defense. So when you have one that's taking charge of the relationship, you know, it makes a better team and a better relationship, you know what I mean, and a championship to go to be successful, man. You know, that's what I'm saying. Relationships could come in many ways. We're not just talking about just a husband and a wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend. You know what I mean? Do relationships are they important? Yes, they are. You know, we need one to you could display it in sports, like I said, you know, education, work, you know what I mean? Relationships are important. They do matter. They do matter. You know, my main relationship is in the spiritual aspects with God, man, because without God, I almost said the word shit.
It's all right. It's all right. We step on that and keep moving.
I'm just keeping it real, man, you know.
Hey, let me see. Western Ave Queen.
There's a mass push of independence. Yeah. There's a mass push for independence. Music and reality show, etc. For example, you push for bedroom activities more than relations. Yeah, see, that's true. You know what? Western act. Check the Queen. Check this out. Even in today's videos, man, you know, all they show is booty popping. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. You know what I mean? You know,
there's no love. Even in, like I said, I was talking about this too. Even in R&B, there's no real R&B like love music anymore. Even the R&B singers, all they talking about is sex, smash. Like they gotta bleep out the R&B songs now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's messing up the next generation, man.
She said, yes, relationships do matter. Thank you, because that's the question we posed. That was the topic, right?
Yeah.
Do relationships matter?
All right. Let's ask
Cindy of all people. Look, Cindy of all people said relationships do matter. Give a shout out to Cindy.
If you guys think relationships matter, man, say yes. If you guys think it doesn't,
give us a yay or nay.
You know,
give us a yes or no, thumbs up or thumbs down in the comments. Do relationships, because that's really what the topic was tonight. Do relationships still matter? Yay or nay?
You know, yes for thumbs up. No,
we're gonna start it off with Cindy, because Cindy was real vocal tonight on how she feels. But she says yes, relationships do matter. So we'll start it there.
Yeah, we'll start it there.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. We hot, man. We topping. We just growing, people, man. Don't forget to we just growing, man.
That part. Okay. She says C. Okay. Elliot said yes. House said yes. Thumbs up.
All right. That's appreciated.
Of course, Monica said of course. I see it's much appreciated. Okay. Monica said 100.
All right, we're seeing some
Sex is just sex, but intimacy. Hold up. Sex is just sex, but intimacy will blow your top. Oh my God.
Man, that part right there. Intimacy make you scream and holler, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, it goes over and over and over.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, man.
Cindy said yes, thumbs up. Western Ave Queen said, yeah, thumbs up. Oh man.
Oh
Wow.
my God, man. This
Wow.
is crazy.
Relationships
You guys are
matter.
crazy. Keep it real.
Okay,
Man.
so we got a unanimous relationships so far. We have a unanimous decision. Relationships do matter.
Where's Fernie Fern at these days? Where is he still here?
I don't know. I haven't seen Fern in a minute. He might have tapped out.
It
He
was
was
too
here
strong
earlier.
for him.
Right. It's too strong, man. Shout out to my boy Fernie.
Hey, these topics are crazy, man. It could be too strong.
All about love, G, and contemplate what they're saying and the difference in the music today. Definitely, man. You know,
That part
definitely.
right there.
The music is just so. There's no love, and I mean when I say love, period. There's nothing in the music today that gives you anything for hope. Like it's just straight, just one way. Just how these dudes are on. They just, you know, it's just like, you know, even back in the day, we had our gangster rap, and you know, we planted these seeds, you know, and all that. But it was always a story about it. It was just telling you what it was about, why I did this, why I had to do this, and usually in the end, it didn't end well, or if it did, we made it better. Now it's just like one way. They just like, it's just no middle. It's just.
I like what House of Tattoo said. You know what I mean? Because you know, in all reality, in relationship these days, you know, people are more worried about stepping out than stepping in, bro. You know what I mean? That's all they're worried about. Like, oh, is he gonna leave me? Are they gonna leave? Are they gonna like me? Are they gonna judge me? The people are more worried about, you know what I mean, than you know, than stepping in and stepping out, bro. Keep it real, bro. Keep it.
Hey, Cindy, you a fool.
Booty call, bro.
That booty call, boy.
So
Cindy's
sun kind of
great.
looking for sun kind of. Like, she just don't want.
Hey, shout out to the homegirl Cindy. Wow. Okay.
Hey, I like transparency, man. She's being honest, bro.
Yeah,
so,
she's being honest.
Oh
my God.
Oh
wow.
Man.
Big Devil said, "Yeah, they matter." Shout out to Big Dev. What up?
That's right. I'm glad, man. I'm glad, you know, because for a minute,
Elliot said it.
You know what I mean? For
Elliot said it's fight or flight.
Out, you know what I mean? Like, man, I was gonna say, you know, it wasn't my topic tonight. It's a topic.
Hey, Elliot said it's fight or flight, and a lot of people take flight, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You got to know when, you know, to show that love. You got to just, you know, kick back and you don't know what the other person's going through, man. Though people are real quick to demonstrate, and people are not even fighting these days, to tell you the truth. You know what they're doing today, right? They're doing a lot of this, man.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's all these youngsters. They ain't been no fight no more.
Ain't no fighting no more, man. It's pretty sad to say that. You know, their relationship these days, they're trying to prove a point. You know, that's all it is, and that's, you know, that's not acceptable in today's lifestyle, man. You know, because back then we had a little bit more respect, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's all bad, man. Sad to say, but there's always hope, and that's what we want to do here. We want to speak about ways we can have some solutions, right? We want to figure out some solutions, man.
That's why we're here, man. You know what I mean? That's why we're here, people. You know, I'm just giving you my thoughts and my opinions, a little bit of my lifestyle. You know, I hope it resonates to go out there and try to. If it touches somebody, then you know that's my purpose. Is, you know, take the advice. You know, but develop it in your way. You know, let it grow your way. You know, it's your lifestyle. You know, plant your own seed. You know, like I come from a I ain't gonna say the craziest background there is, but you know, I've been hurt too, you know, and a lot of, if you would have told me this 15 years ago, I would have said F relationships, man, to be honest with you. You know, I would have said hell no, you know, relationships. I would have been totally negative about the whole topic today. You would have saw thumbs down, cursing. I would have probably called in G-Lew and probably cursed them out and be like, "Oh, you guys don't know what the hell you're saying." But people change, man. I was talking from my trauma part. I was talking from my disappointments back then. I was talking from my violations and my disregards at things that happened to me. But I had to develop people. There was good people that installed those good things besides God. God totally changed me, and he's still doing that. So that's how I'm able to come out today and say, hey, if you guys look at my video back then, I'll talk to you later, Pops. You know what I mean? Next time we'll come out and I'm going to show you something. I got a real live video from back in the days, man. And I'll share it with you guys. And you'll see how I was back then from where I am now. Big change. So people do change,
Right. Yes, sir. Elliot said best thing about having a choice is determining what baggage you're willing to help MFers unpack or not.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and like I said again, I think all of this boils down to having, accountability, accountability, knowing what you expect of yourself. You know what I mean? Is just what you're gonna get. If that's not something in the person or whoever you meet or whatever, then no, you don't have to. You're not obligated to stay there for that. You know what I mean? So,
I think we can honestly say that everybody gave a thumbs up, and if we have millions of people, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will say that relationships, they do matter, right? That's the whole topic. That's the topic.
Oh yeah, tonight. We got a unanimous decision
but
on that.
Like I said, don't reinvent the wheel when it's already made. Can I say that? Don't reinvent the wheel when it's already made. Relationships, they are important. Go along with the relationship. It's just us, how we conduct the relationship. Just make sure that you're trying to learn up within yourself. Build a relationship within yourself. Actually, self-evaluate yourself. Know what you like. Because a lot of times when we go into relationships, we're lying. Hey, babe, do you like Chinese food? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're not keeping it real because you just want to make the best impression you can. Do
you like Indian food? And your body can't take spices, and you're over there freaking crapping 20 minutes later, bro.
I ain't gonna lie about that. I would tell somebody I don't eat that. Nope.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you're right though, because one is you're not
trying to
all the way real. You're trying to prove or make an impression.
Lying. You're already going into a relationship lying straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at it like that.
Big Devil said, "People change, but the demons don't."
Damn. Ooh. And that's.
Ooh.
No, man. Yeah. Look what he says. Though. Look at his honesty though. Big shout out to him. Keep reading it, Pops.
Yeah, he said that's what I'm dealing with.
Wow. That's the part right there, man. That's what he's dealing with, man. And I'm see, but the purpose is that he's dealing with it and he's being honest with himself, man.
Yeah.
He's trying to put those demons behind him so he could move forward, man. That's what we're all trying to do. Like I said, we were not all grown in their house on the prairie, on top of the hill, man. A lot of us come from the hood,
Yeah.
And those who didn't come from the hood, you're blessed and fortunate, But if you're willing, besides the hood and everything else, if you're willing to change.
That's the key word though. And that's with anything, if you have to have that will to want to change, you have to want to, do something. No one can force you to, even if that comes to a relationship. The other person may be trying their best to just meet you halfway or make you or do this or I'm willing to work with all of this, but just meet me here. But you can't force that person to do that.
That's true.
So again, it goes back to that person personally. Everyone has to find themselves first, self-evaluation before you go into something and even put something on someone else that they don't deserve. That's what I'm saying. Man. Learn yourself first, man.
That's right, man. That's right. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about people.
Talk about it, man. But on top of that, like even Cindy said again, what did she say? Love is a beautiful thing.
It is.
That just shows you love still wins, and people want love.
Love still wins.
It just may be hard to acquire, but it still is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's that part right there, man. It's be quick to listen, man. You know what I mean, and slow to learn. Yeah. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to be angry. Straight up. Man. I think that's a Bible verse, huh? Yeah. Be quick to slow to speak, slow to listen, and quick to learn, or something like that. Gotta get back into that one, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's a beautiful thing, man. Don't let do relationships work still today? Yes, they do, people. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they do, man.
It's just a thin line though. So you just have to, like you said, it's all about balance and options and self evaluation and self determination and self education, self motivation,
There you
self
go.
everything. Be pro self first. Learn, what you need to do. Get that love within yourself, so you can, be able to experience love. Because if you don't, love yourself first, you're never gonna be able to love someone else because you don't even like yourself like that. So you're gonna bring that baggage, man. Don't bring extra baggage. You know what I mean? To
Yeah,
a relationship. That's
what
not fair.
I like what House says right here. It used to be love makes the world go around, and when people now it's money. Sometimes people love money, man.
What
There's a lot of those.
people do for money. Real
People
talk.
be lovers. Hey, people be lovers of themselves, man. That's biblical, bro. You know what I mean? They'll be lovers of money, anything, because they're greedy, man. They're selfishness. They're not worried about the next individual. Those are you could tell those people don't have those longevity relationships, man. Everything spoils. There's no growth in that.
Yeah.
People. The Bible says people in the end they'll be lovers of themselves. That's a biblical quote too. That's right, House. You know what's up?
Yeah. Being accountable. Shout out to Elliot. Be
Gotta
accountable, people.
We got to do accountability part 2, man.
Yeah, because I was about to say that was one of our main ones. Accountability. Yeah, we got to bring that back because that was powerful, man.
It was
accountability. Everything accountability is almost like a root. You know what I mean? Like a part of a foundation. Accountability, man. That's gonna go back. It's gonna come back to that all the time. You know what I mean? Like accountability.
It is because what it is displaying is consistency. Don't you understand? Accountability and consistency work hand in hand. Because when you're being accountable to something, to someone, there's a consistency of goodness and reflection of what you're trying to with your other partner in the relationship. In a business, like I said, in sports and children, there is accountability and consistency. They go on hand in hand. But what that comes to is the unaccountability and the inconsistency. So where are you guys at? Where do we fall on today? I ain't saying I'm accountable and consistent every day. That's not true. I'll be the first one to tell you guys that, hey, it's a work in progress. I choose to find myself. If I stumble one day, I'll go on to the next. Now, I would hope that my, relationships, do they matter? Yes, because I will hope when I'm falling and stumbling that at least my wife or a family member or even a friend will tell me something. I could take good criticism. It's just like, hey, if I'm doing something wrong, I would hope, Pops would tell me, G-Lew would be like, hey, Big D, this is what I heard, this is what I saw. Slipping, homie. All right, Pops, let me check myself, because I know he his relationship matters to me. So, so he's keeping me on my 210, right? He's keeping me on my 210, vulnerability. Yes, accountability displays vulnerability. Exactly, Alien. You guys know what we're talking about. You guys are on it, you guys are educated. So this is the type of people that we choose, and you guys hope to send the message out there because it seems we're not perfect. But I think we know what's going on, and we have to be the example still for the next generation. That's important right there.
That part.
That
part. Yeah,
no one's perfect. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
So
wow, man. Wow.
We talked about it tonight, Big D. We talked about it. Another great episode, man. Number 15, I think. We definitely talk about it. I think we tackled a lot of issues and a lot of questions we answered, I think. Like I said, it was split down the middle how people felt. But I think overall, even though the people were divided really how they felt, as far as how everything was broken down, at the end we see everyone was in accordance. Everyone was on the same page as far as love and relationships, and these things matter.
And big shout out to
everyone lost love.
My bad, dog.
Go ahead,
big shout out to 2Souls, man. We
2Souls. Yeah,
I'm glad that my wife was able to come in and throw a little mindset of a female.
Thank you, Monica. Yeah,
There's a
but
few
2Souls
that-
not. But she told me already that it was a possibility she may not be able to make it. I just hope she could. So I'm
Right,
sure
you know.
she sends her love and she'll be back soon because
Right,
she
right. And
shout
like
out
I
to
said,
her.
this platform and even my platform, man, it's co-ed, man. Women's opinions matter. Everybody does, to be honest with you. No disrespect to the LGBT community. We want everybody's, what their thoughts are. They're very important to us. We could agree to disagree, man. And that's why do relationships matter? Yes, they do.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
they do.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
they do. A big shout out to those Dodgers, man. NFL's
Hey,
coming.
and it was the home run derby tonight was at Dodger Stadium. Shout out to
That's right. But
Dodgers
I
for hosting the home run thing.
I chose to make my commitment right here, man. I'm watching it right now too. I can see it through.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But saludos to everyone. Thank you for everyone who joined us, chimed in. Thanks for the caller, Monica, for calling in, and everyone who just typed a comment, and feedback, anything. We appreciate it. Shout out to my boy Fernie Fern. Yes, they do. Oh, the Dodgers. look. Shout out to my boy Fernie Fern. There he is. But yeah, shout out to Cindy. Really appreciate.
He's not the sauce.
Yeah, nah, he told me that last night. No more sauce, G. Just Fernie, bro. Just Fernie. Shout out to my boy Fernie, man. All the sauce is gone. You guys took all the sauce. No more free sauce. No more free sauce. I'm selling these for $49.90 and $5. No more free sauce. So shout out to my boy Fernie. But shout out to Cindy, House, the homie House, Elia. Prayers up to DD. She's not feeling great. And everyone who with everyone who chimed in, Pam Taylor, thank you. Man, I'm gonna turn it over to Big D. We love y'all. Peace. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, man. Don't forget, like I said, like and subscribe. Don't forget to share, man. We're just growing. You guys are growing with us, man. You guys pay a big dividends in this relationship and in this channel, and we appreciate you, man, from the bottom of my heart, and I'm pretty sure from Pops too. So, I got something going on. I think I'm gonna come out with something. I'm gonna talk to Pops about it. But we'll be seeing you next week, man. Appreciate you guys once again, man. You guys have a good and a blessed night, all right? Do relationships matter? In my opinion, yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
So
that we all can agree. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night, blessed week, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace and love. God bless. We're out of here. 100.